Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hey guys, this is about how to get rid of Deshaun Watson. I don't see Deshaun Watson playing another snap for the Browns next year, bro. You saw how it ended. He's not about to come back for this next year with all the criticism he had and hate and all that. Like, they'll find a way to get rid of him. I know it sounds kind of crazy with the salary cap situation and his contract, but I think they'll find a way to at least him next year. I don't see him sitting out while on the team next year and not playing. I think he's going to show up as a professional and compete, but I don't see him not being back with the Browns next year. They'll find a way to get rid of him next year. We don't know what's going to happen. Maybe he can either spend the money off the salary cap, or they can make some maybe other financial decisions. We just have to see. The era is over. It just hasn't worked because his ability to not stay healthy and consistency not been playing well enough, and we just have to see how it goes next offseason. We'll see. But the Watson era is over in Cleveland. That's all I got to say, you guys. You guys have a good one. I appreciate you guys. Go Browns.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Let's welcome in Tim Bielek from the Plain Dealer, cleveland.com. Tim, the issue will be, if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm taking every last bit of the guaranteed money, especially coming off of 2 years where my body has been significantly beat up. And that's just the reality of it. And the Browns really don't have any way to mitigate the cap hit.
Yeah, I think that's just the unfortunate reality of the contract that they signed him to when they were able to trade for him. Even looking at overthecap.com again, I think we talked about this before. If you want to move on from him before next season, if you want to make him a post June 1st cut, that makes his cap at about $118.94 million. There's a $46 million increase over the $72+ million cap hit he already has for 2025. So really, that's in addition to having to free up cap room just to have that cap number on there, you had to free up more to get rid of him for next season. So really, it's counterproductive because then you're taking away from your own football team for this cap situation. So maybe I keep feeling like he's going to be on the roster in some capacity next season because you almost have to have him on there just because the cap is so high. Just because he's on the roster doesn't mean he necessarily is going to be the starter. Doesn't mean that he's going to play all the time. I mean, I think this is kind of the reality. If he would have to probably earn the job or whatever situation happens from his recovery from his ruptured Achilles or whatever. So it just doesn't feel like a very realistic universe where where the Browns move on from him after this coming season going into 2025, maybe 2026 when you can get that post June 1st cap hit, and then you don't owe extra cap hit beyond the almost $73 million that would already be there. So I feel like because of that, you'd almost have to wait a year just to really kind of move on from him.